My name is Lyssa. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm from a small town north of Regina, Saskatchewan. I got started in music when I was very young. I started taking voice lessons when I was 7, and it just continued from there. I learned how to play guitar in high school and started songwriting in high school. But a lot of what I wanted to continue doing was classical music at the time, and so I did my bachelor's degree in classical music, and then I did my master's, and in between all that, I was also a singer-songwriter, along with performing as a classical soprano. I think what always draws me to create the music that I create is the need to express something and express myself. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to find that through various styles. And it's really just a lot about what makes me feel my fullest. So one of my major career aspirations would be to perform with the Regina Symphony Orchestra. I think another would just be to be able to tour across Canada. And I'm as a voice teacher, one of my aspirations is also to have my own voice studio. And that's full with a wait list. So those are just a few of my aspirations. Yeah. Feeling fresh, feeling free. I ain't rich, but I'm happy. Got a little cash to burn every now and then. And the sun's pouring through my basement city view. I'm soaking up these summer rays today. I got these 4 walls, these 4 chords, and nothing but the truth. I may be barely scraping by, but I'm shining through and through. These 4 walls, these 4 chords are far from brand new, but they can shimmer if I want them to. Oh, yes, they can. Now, I could choose to believe that the grass is always greener, but why waste away my time and energy? I got all that I need sitting right in front of me, and this melody to carry me through the day. With these 4 walls, these 4 chords, and nothing but the truth. I may be barely scraping by, but I'm shining through and through. These 4 walls, these 4 chords are far from brand new, but they can shimmer if I want them to. 'Cause I'm thriving and I'm feeling alive. I may be working like a dog, but I'm not living a lie. And I'm feeling like I'm giving it time to let it breathe, to let it climb, well, to make it mine. With these 4 walls, these 4 chords, and nothing but the truth. I may be barely scraping by, but I'm shining through and through. These 4 walls, these 4 chords are far from brand new, but they can shimmer if I want them to. Oh, yes, they can. Four walls and 4 chords is really about the fact that your reality is what you make of it. What inspired me to write this song was when I was reminiscing about a time in my life. I was living in Toronto. I lived in this like shoebox of a basement bachelor apartment. Like it literally had a bed and like a little IKEA couch, my guitar and my piano and me. And even though I didn't really have much and like I was working, I think like 2 or 3 jobs, like I was working really hard, I was still super happy. And that was a really happy time in my life. And I think when I think back on that, I really try to remember that in my everyday. Even though we know like our lives change and stuff, time changes. We always have to remember that, where we are, we can either make the best of it or the worst of it. And so that's really what that song's about. So I'm really inspired by human interaction and like how we cope with our own feelings and how we operate in society. I'm also really, really inspired by the nature in Saskatchewan. Specifically, I do my best writing when I'm in this province. There's an openness and a freeness, I think, that comes along with living in Saskatchewan, and that really inspires me. So my songwriting process, it really does vary. A lot of the time, the lyrics will come first, and I'll sit down with like an idea, and I'll just strum a couple chords, start singing a melody that I think would go well with the lyrics. And then I just kind of keep building. A lot of the times, if I'm lucky, it'll come out in one go, and then I'll have to go back and edit. That doesn't happen all the time, but when that does, it's really magic. And I'm fortunate to have those moments. But for me, the key is really consistency. It's like practicing any other instrument. You have to keep practicing your songwriting. So I try to write as frequently as I can. Even if they don't hit the stage, I still write them. Oh. Not a day goes by, this moment hasn't crossed my mind. Corner of Jane and Fleet, time stands still as you look back at me. Blank expression on your face, as if you never knew my name. I laid myself out in front of you, sacrificed everything I knew. I only wanted to be seen, but you turned a blind eye to me. To me. Even before you left, I was dying a slow, lonesome death. You loved me through a foggy lens, never saw how far I bent. How could you comprehend with blurry vision and loose ends? I laid myself out in front of you, I sacrificed everything I knew. I only wanted to be seen, but you turned a blind eye, turned a blind eye. And every day I sat with you at the table we thought whole, and every night I laid beside you in the bed that we called home. I laid myself out in front of you, sacrificed everything I knew. I only wanted to be seen, but you turned a blind eye to me. To me. To me, oh, to me. Blind Eye is about that moment when you see your ex on the street for the first time in like months. You haven't talked to them, and they don't even acknowledge you after you've spent a significant part of your life with them. And it's kind of about, in that moment, realizing that they've turned a blind eye to you during your whole relationship. Never really knew who you were. Never really took the time to know who you were. And that's kind of what that song's about. I think it's pretty relatable. I think everybody's been in that situation before, or a similar one. And having that same kind of feeling of just being upset and angry about the whole situation. Yeah. Community is really important to me. I didn't realize how important it was to me until I was a singer as part of New St. James Church in London, Ontario, when I lived there. Having people around you who really support you and you enjoy being around and you really care for, having that support system is something so valuable and precious. And so I guess for me, community really means this idea of support. And I'm very fortunate that, I've been able to find community every city that I've lived in. And even in my teaching, I find a different type of community, different type of people to support me and that I can support as well. It's this give and take. I would say community doesn't play so much a role in my own songwriting as in it does with my work outside of songwriting. So I feel that I give back to the community most when I'm teaching or when I'm directing, because that is, inspiring the little singers, the next generation of the little singers, to kind of follow their dream in their hearts and do what they love. And I think that's when I feel most fulfilled as a member of community. I think the best piece of advice I got recently was this idea of what if? What if I could have all the things that I wanted right now in this body, in this place? And that was something really kind of earth-shattering for me, because it really forced me to let go of these beliefs that I had been carrying around that would stop me from doing things and from, doing the gig, writing the song, collaborating. All of these beliefs that I'd carry around for a while were kind of like, oh, well, what if I just didn't have those anymore? It really did just change the way I saw myself. It really made me realize that everything that I've wanted, all these dreams that I have, I don't have to wait around for them, right? Like I can do it now.